I'm Jack for draft day, yeah, can't wait to slay. Clock's ticking down, time to make my way. Stacking up my squad, gonna win my way. No guts, no glory, we don't do no delay. Line up, locked eyes wide, ready to explode. Scouting all the sleepers, chasing that gold. Trade block lit, wave a wire on fire. Draft boards popping, rising higher and higher. The bus, feel the rush, it's a dynasty dance. Picking champs, making moves, never leave it to chance. From QB to RB, wideouts on the chase. Every pick's a power play, it's a high stakes race. I'm Jack for draft day, yeah, can't wait to slay. Clock's ticking down, time to make my way. Stacking up my squad, gonna win my way. No guts, no glory, we don't do no delay. And premium flex, gotta get it right. SUPERFLEX dreams under the spotlight. Taxi squad ready, rookies in the zone, building legacies. This league's my throne, no time for slacking, gotta draft like a king. Every pick counts, hear that victory ring. Rivalries growing, banter's on the rise. Jack for draft day, see the fire in my eyes. I'm Jack for draft day, yeah, can't wait to slay. Clock's ticking down, time to make my way. Stacking up my squad, gonna win my way. No guts, no glory, we don't do no delay. We don't do no delay. No guts, no glory, we don't do no delay. Time for slacking, gotta draft like a king. Every pick counts, hear that victory ring. Rivalries growing, banter's on the rise. Jack for draft day, see the fire in my eyes. I'm Jack for draft day, yeah, can't wait to slay. Clock's ticking down, time to make my way. Stacking up my squad, gonna win my way. I'm Jack for draft day, yeah, can't wait to slay. Clock's ticking down, time to make my way. Stacking up my squad, gonna win my way. No guts, no glory, we don't do no delay. Line up, locked eyes wide, ready to explode. Scouting all the sleepers, chasing that gold. Trade block lit, wave a wire on fire. Draft boards popping, rising higher and higher. The bus, feel the rush, it's a dynasty dance. Picking champs, making moves, never leave it to chance. From QB to RB, wideouts on the chase. Every pick's a power play, it's a high stakes race. I'm Jack for draft day, yeah, can't wait to slay. Clock's ticking down, time to make my way. Stacking up my squad, gonna win my way. No guts, no glory, we don't do no delay. And premium flex, gotta get it right. SUPERFLEX dreams under the spotlight. Taxi squad ready, rookies in the zone, building legacies. This league's my throne, no time for slacking, gotta draft like a king. Every pick counts, hear that victory ring. Rivalries growing, banter's on the rise. Jack for draft day, see the fire in my eyes. I'm Jack for draft day, yeah, can't wait to slay. Clock's ticking down, time to make my way. Stacking up my squad, gonna win my way. No guts, no glory, we don't do no delay. We don't do no delay. No guts, no glory, we don't do no delay. Time for slacking, gotta draft like a king. Every pick counts, hear that victory ring. Rivalries growing, banter's on the rise. Jack for draft day, see the fire in my eyes. I'm Jack for draft day, yeah, can't wait to slay. Clock's ticking down, time to make my way. Stacking up my squad, gonna win my way. I'm Jack for draft day, yeah, can't wait to slay. Clock's ticking down, time to make my way. Stacking up my squad, gonna win my way. No guts, no glory, we don't do no delay. Line up, locked eyes wide, ready to explode. Scouting all the sleepers, chasing that gold. Trade block lit, wave a wire on fire. Draft boards popping, rising higher and higher. The bus, feel the rush, it's a dynasty dance. Picking champs, making moves, never leave it to chance. From QB to RB, wideouts on the chase. Every pick's a power play, it's a high stakes race. I'm Jack for draft day, yeah, can't wait to slay. Clock's ticking down, time to make my way. Stacking up my squad, gonna win my way. No guts, no glory, we don't do no delay. And premium flex, gotta get it right. under the spotlight. Taxi squad ready, rookies in the zone, building legacies. This league my throne, no time for slacking, gotta draft like a king. Every pick counts, hear that victory ring. Rivalries growing, banter's on the rise.
What's up? What's up? LordSkunk here. LordSkunk.com, baby. Here we go. We're on day 3 of the draft. Can you believe it? By the way, check this out. Barry Sanders. Got to get the throwback. My little Detroit Lions boy in there. And guess what? You know what I realized? The camera was always flipped. So it was always mirrored. So it would always, everything would be backwards. So hopefully it's right. Maybe I got it wrong. I don't know. We'll see. But thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for being a part of the show. I'm going to go ahead and flip over here to the chat real quick just to see if you're in the chat. If you can say what's up, so let me know you're there. I really appreciate it. Excited to get into day 3 of the draft. Wow, guys, this is unbelievable. This is my first long draft or slow draft that I've ever done before. It's pretty cool. It's a very interesting experience, especially when everybody's kind of going off in the sleeper chat, in the Discord chat. Just kind of like talking about the picks. In a typical draft, right? It goes much faster. It's like 2 minutes, maybe 30 seconds, just depending on the style of draft that you're in. So it's kind of like rapid fire. You really don't even have time to banter too much or chat too much about it. Sometimes it's going so rapid fire, you're trying to think about your next pick. Here's pretty cool, man. You're kind of going through. Plus, we're seeing a lot of the team managers are kind of like, you can tell they're getting like super antsy. They want to kind of keep it rolling, stuff like that. I was actually going to hold off on drafting a couple picks back because I was like, oh, I'll just stream it. But then I realized, well, they're moving along so fast, I should probably go ahead and lock these picks in. And here we are. We were able to get all the way back through again, come back to me. So now, guess who's on the clock? Your boy, Skunky D, is on the clock right now. So let's catch back up. I went back and reviewed the previous stream where we left off. Cruz, a.k.a. South Beach Explorers, was up on the clock because I had just picked Mr. Brown. I just picked Mr. Brown from the Eagles. We got him on the team, and then that was it, right? And then we shut off because Cruz, South Beach Explorers, is on a trip in Europe. So he's like way far behind. He was like definitely asleep at the time, so we weren't going to get any pick action after that. So we went ahead and shut the stream down, and then now here we're picking it up today. So where we left off was I had picked up. Let me see if I can do it without. Oh wow. Let me see if I can do this without blowing up the thing, because I'm the commissioner, so it could be. Here we go. All right, so let's go to show player card. So I got A.J. Brown. That was the last pick that we touched on in the draft. I had to go for A.J. Brown. I got Nico Collins, A.J. Brown. I just feel that could be a really good dynamic duo right there. So we're going to pick it up here with Cruz. So after A.J. Brown, after we went off stream, at some point in the draft, he selected C.J. Stroud. So he didn't have a quarterback yet. He had double wide receiver. He picked Jamar Chase overall, number 1 overall, which was great. One for him because he's got an amazing wide receiver. Was great for me because that opened up Josh Allen for me. Welcome to the team, Mr. Allen. Hope you guys are bumping that song. That's an amazing track. That'll be dropping very soon on the YouTube, LordSkunk, so make sure you check that out. But Jamar Chase, Lad McConkey, he needed to get some QB action, and he did. He doubled up on QBs back to back, boom, boom. So with 312, he picked C.J. Stroud, and then right below that, he picked Jordan Love. Now he was obviously sleeping and probably didn't see the stream of when I kind of talked about Jordan Love, C.J. Stroud, Kyler Murray. He probably missed that part, so he didn't know. But he went ahead and selected him. That's great for him. It took 2 people off the board that I don't want. So it all worked out pretty well there. So C.J. Stroud, Jordan Love, then it pops back to me. So I ended up going with Jonathan Taylor. I needed to get a running back. I can't believe that he fell to me. He's a top 10 running back. I got him all the way in the 4th round. Jonathan Taylor, if he stays healthy, I mean, that could be potentially a top 5 running back. I know we got some questions at quarterback. We got Daniel Jones probably going to be starting us off. Maybe Anthony Richardson coming back. I don't know. Again, it's going back to I evaluate players not just on stats, but also on like body language, the mental side of it as well. Anthony Richardson is the only player in the history of the NFL, and I've been watching NFL for off and on for probably a lot of years. or at least 2 decades. And I've never heard of a player like took a break off, especially a quarterback, like just said, "Oh, I was too tired. I pulled myself out of the game." Like, could you imagine Tom Brady saying he pulled like, oh my, that would have blew up crazy. But Anthony Richardson did that, and it makes you question, right? So there's some question marks there for sure. So Jonathan Taylor, potentially, if they're kind of got this weird vibe going on with quarterback, then I think, and if he's healthy, I think he can put in some work. So we're going to see what happens with that pick. But then moving over to Mick, right after me, he picked up Ted McMillan. These guys were trying to play like mind games with me. They were trying to do all kinds of stuff. Like Mick was trying to do anything he could to get me to not pick Tet. He wanted me to pick Hunter. He was trying to get me to do all these different things. So that's okay. That's the name of the game. I'm not blaming him. I'm not faulting him for it. He's just trying to secure his pick. But he ended up going with Tet, and I knew that's exactly what he was trying to do. That's all good. He got him. So congratulations to Mick. Moving on, Kramer. He picked up. So he's the second person in the draft. So round 4, he's the second person in the draft to get a tight end, but it was the third tight end that went. So very interesting there. He got Laporta. I would have loved to have Laporta. I wasn't going to forego Jonathan Taylor for Laporta, but if I could have got Laporta, maybe on the next round, I would have questioned, maybe I'm able to get him. But I don't know. I'm not upset. I think there'll be potentially some other tight ends as we go, but I think Laporta's a really good pick here. Very strong pick for Kramer. A lot of these teams, when we look at them, when we go through, and we'll kind of do, once we get down here, we'll kind of do a deep dive like on the overall team. Right now, we're just kind of going in the pick order. So then we would go next with Howard the Ducks, picked Kyron Williams. A great choice in Kyron Williams. I think he's a little bit, he's a little bit fragile, maybe. I don't know. He has some history of injuries. We got Omari and Hampton coming in, right? Potentially could take some of that from him. But maybe that'll work out really good. Maybe that will lessen Kyron Williams' load, allow him to stay a little bit healthy, allow Omari and Hampton to get some of his some work in there for him as well. So that could be good. So Kyron Williams is a good pick. I think it's a safe pick in round 4, kind of midway through round 4. That's pretty good. Nothing too bad there. Trevion, I think it's Trevion Henderson, right? Am I saying that right? Yeah, Trevion Henderson. Another good pick, right? But a rookie, right? This is dynasty, right? So we are trying to build long term. But again, I haven't seen him in the NFL. We can only look at college. We can only look at combine and other stats like that. So a good pick. I think it's a good place to pick him. Again, midway in the 4th round. He's getting a running back. It's his first running back. Is a rookie. We can talk about his next running back as we go down, because obviously that's a little bit later. He got that, but he got hey, if this guy pops off and he's a stud, it's a home run hitter right there at 4.6. So we'll have to see what happens with Dr. Swink. Coming up next is Derrick Henry. Obviously a great running back last year, great running back many years in the NFL, but a really good pickup there. Again, Henry last year kind of went a little bit lower in the drafts. I think because he was going to Baltimore, we didn't know how they were going to utilize him. You had Lamar Jackson, but they actually kind of like Saquon and Hurts. They were okay. Henry and Lamar Jackson were fine. Hurts and Saquon were fine, so it kind of worked out. I think getting him here at 4.7 is a good place to get him. He got him over Christian McCaffrey, which I think probably, if Christian McCaffrey's healthy, that's probably right. And to have that stack of Barkley, McCaffrey, and Henry, that's a pretty elite core trio of running backs. So, and he's got Jalen Hurts as quarterback. So I think Flying V is doing pretty well there as far as where he's going. Now, what is he going to do in his next quarterback? How's that going to look? A lot of these teams do have double quarterback already. Dr. Swink doesn't yet. So I think there's 3 teams, okay? Because look, Chino, Punting Pandas only has 1 quarterback as well right now. So interesting spot for some of these guys. I mean, he definitely is stacked at running back, no doubt about it. And he's stacked at veterans, right? He's very stacked at veterans. So Jalen Hurts, I think, might be his youngest guy on his team. I think Jalen Hurts, let's see. Jalen Hurts is 26. Barkley, what's Barkley, like 28, 29, I think? 28, yep. McCaffrey, is McCaffrey 30 yet? Let's see. 29. Okay, might be 30 by the time of the season. Derrick Henry, I believe, is over 30, like 32, 31. Okay, might be 32 at the start of the season. Not sure when his birthday is. Kittle is a little bit older too, 31. And Tyreek Hill, obviously, we know great player, but older as well, 31. So I think, and Devontae Adams, again, a great pick, great player, but 32. So he probably has, Flying V probably has the largest average age of players. We'll get to that deeper as we kind of like finish this up because I think Sleeper's really good at that about showing the age. So we'll see there. I mean, that could be a murderer's row of just great players, but for this year, is that going to be for next year, the year after, so on and so forth. So interesting to see how that goes and how the rest of his draft goes. I think now at this point, he's probably going to start trying to target some rookies. I think he probably already has a strategy of maybe some rookies and some sleepers there that he's going to go for. But very interesting. Last year, my goodness, this draft, wow, that's like home run hitter right there for last year in a redraft. Okay, let's move on to Eddie Ha. Okay, so he started out with Burrow, Mahomes, Jackson, Smith, and Jigba, and then now he's the one who got Travis Hunter. Yesterday, obviously, they thought a lot of people thought I was wearing the Travis Hunter jersey. That I was going to go with Travis Hunter. I had the opportunity to go with Travis Hunter. I didn't. I went with AJ Brown. I just feel that Brown, if he's healthy, again, surefire, sure hit. Travis Hunter is great. Who knows? Maybe they'll entice me. Maybe Eddie Haas picking him up and we do a trade down the line. But yeah, good pick on Travis Hunter. I think he's going to do really well, especially paired with Jackson Smith and Jigba, two really strong quarterbacks, and Burrow and Mahomes. So looking pretty good there. Manson has got he went ahead and picked up Baker Mayfield. He secured his second quarterback. Good pick on Baker. Baker obviously surprised a lot of us last year. He really broke out thanks to his coach and some of the people around him, I think. And just having a chance to do what Baker does, just be comfortable and confident in what he brings to the table, which I didn't think he got that in any of the other teams that he was with prior, especially with the Browns, right? So Baker Mayfield broke out. I picked him up on waivers on a lot of my leagues just to have like a backup. He ended up becoming the main quarterback for a few of them. So really good there. Nice pickup for Baker. I think he's probably around the right time to draft him. It probably comes in maybe just at the very top end of that, to grab him, but still a good pick to secure his second to pair up with Caleb Williams. Moving on to Joe Mama, he picked up Kyler Murray. Again, not a quarter. Not that I don't like Kyler Murray. I think that he can do well. Again, I just think there's just something there. There's just some consistency. There's some shakiness. I don't know if it's the coaching staff, if it's the team, if it's him, what it is, but there's just something there that made me a little bit nervous. But Joe Mama needed a quarterback, and he selected Kyler Murray. Punny Pandas, Chino picked up RJ Harvey, right? Really good rookie prospect. A lot of people are saying, even Sean Payton, who I forgot yesterday, thank you. I think it was Leo who dropped that in the chat. So RJ Harvey going to Sean Payton. We know some of the top picks that he picked: Reggie Bush, Alvin Kamara. Some of these guys have done phenomenal. Mark Ingram have done phenomenal in fantasy, NFL in general, right? But in fantasy specifically, what we're talking about here. So yeah, good pick. I wouldn't have mind having RJ Harvey on my team. I wouldn't have taken him over Jonathan Taylor. But still, I think that could be a really good pick. What does make me nervous, though, about the Broncos is last year, right? They had kind of like this carousel of running backs that kind of came through. Javante was there, and it seemed like he was supposed to be our lead back, but they never really could get him going, and they didn't seem like they had a lot of faith in him. Audric Estime from the University of Notre Dame. Watched him actually live in person play in college a couple times. So to have him come there was really exciting. Everybody started hyping him up. He was like a super high pickup on the waiver wire. I picked him up in a couple leagues where I needed some help towards the end of the year, and unfortunately he didn't hit. So I hope that RJ Harvey, I hope that Sean Payton now in his second year there at the Broncos. Bo Nix obviously is his second year now. We'll see. We'll see what happens. That could be a really good pick there. Again, rookie, we just don't know, but we'll see. And then is it Quinshawn? How do you say his name? Yeah, Quinshawn. Quinshawn Judkins coming out of Cleveland. Haven't heard a lot about him, right? Because in Cleveland, all they talk about is Shedeur Sanders, a second or third string or fourth string. I'm not sure depending on the media or what video you watch. Level there. But Judkins could be good. Again, it's Cleveland though. I try to stay away from them. I don't. There's certain teams and certain kind of like mindsets psychologically that I kind of stay away from. Cleveland's one of them. Let's try to think of another team that I'm kind of like that with. I'm kind of like that with Seattle. I think I'm going to be like that with Seattle this year. Sam Darnold going there. It could be good, but I'm going to kind of stay away from it. As far as Atlanta, when Kirk Cousins was there, I tried to kind of stay away from that. But now Michael Penix is there, so I think Kirk Cousins will probably get traded or something. I don't know. Maybe they hang on to his backup. Maybe they do. I don't know. I think there could be some value there. I think somebody could get him, so he might end up on a different team. We'll see. Who knows? Maybe he go. Maybe. You never know. You never know because this is the Cleveland Browns. This is the NFL. You never know. Judkins' quarterback could be Kirk Cousins at the beginning of the season. Who knows? Who knows? You heard it here first. All right. Then moving on, you have the next pick. So he picked up J.J. McCarthy. Great pick. I would have liked to have gotten J.J., I think. I think it would have been good. He's got Justin Jefferson. He's got Addison there. There's Aaron Jones, right, as a running back. They got Jordan Mason as the backup there. He did really well with San Francisco last year. So J.J. McCarthy could be good. He's got Hockenson, too, as a tight end. Hawk didn't do exceptionally well last year compared to what a lot of people's expectations were. But J.J. McCarthy, let's see what happens. Let's see him take over the show, see what he can do. We know that he's got the quarterback whisperer coach there in Minnesota, so that could be a really good pick. So we'll have to keep an eye on that one. Coming back to Pony Pandas, Chino, he went a rookie running back again. He picked up Caleb Johnson out of Pittsburgh. Who everybody is saying like that's like even this guy saying this is like the perfect fit for him. Like this was the perfect from where he transitioned from college, transition here to the NFL. That's like the perfect team. So really good pick up there and back to back. R.J. Harvey, Caleb Johnson. I think that's great. He's got Gianti too. I mean, he's like legit stacked. Like seriously, if you probably do the average, we just talked about Flying V, who's got a great team, but you do the average age, probably the highest in the league. You do the average age of Chino, Pony Pandas team, that's probably the lowest. I would think one of the lowest in the league, right? You got Neighbors, who's a rookie last year, Gianti. You've got his oldest player here so far, up to Caleb Johnson, is Drake London, right? And Drake London is a pretty young guy. R.J. Harvey, Caleb Johnson. So it's a pretty cool so far how he's been able to do that. I don't know if that was necessarily his plan, right? I don't know if you could plan that, but that worked out pretty well for him. We'll get a little bit more into his picks as we get going. And then back to Joe Mama. He picked up a rook. He got Igbuka, wide receiver from Tampa Bay. A lot of good things we're saying about him coming out of these, kind of these OTAs, these rookie camps, all this stuff that they got going on. They're saying that he's having a lot of really good chemistry with Baker Mayfield, even over Mike Evans. And oh my goodness, Chris Godwin. That's the guy I was trying to think of yesterday. I couldn't think of it. So Chris, I kept wanting to say T. Higgins, right? I didn't want to say that. But he's the T. Higgins of the Buccaneers, and that's Chris Godwin. So yeah, so even over those two. So Ibuka could be really good, young guy, rookie. Let's see what happens. Moving on to another young guy, Roma Dunze. Last year was a rookie, right? Comes in. Him and Caleb Johnson, they were supposed to have like this great chemistry. They were gonna, tear it up at the Bears. And Rome, Caleb didn't really live up to expectations. I think overall his performance was pretty decent. If you go back and really honestly look at it, I think it was really more coaching. But Rome did not live up to. If you were going to say those two, I would say Rome didn't live up to as much of the hype as what Caleb did better than Rome did in comparison to expectations. But Rome, I think, can do it now. It's a lot of times that happens with rookies, especially wide receivers. First year, it's just they're kind of getting used to the speed. They're getting that connection with the quarterback. They're trying to get their rhythm. There's a lot going on. So, I think this could be a better year for him. So I think that's a really good pick that he got there. Going back to Eddie Ha, he picks up T. Higgins. We just talked about T. Higgins, right? He ended up picking him up, which we talked yesterday in the draft. Like, hey, a lot of people were, he was on the board. He was available to me at that time, and we weren't even considering him for me to select him. I did have T. Higgins in a few of my leagues last year until he got hurt. He was doing phenomenally well. Paired with Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow. I mean, that's a really good offense. So good pick there. I think 5-5, the 5-5 pick, that's good. That was pretty good. So Eddie Hawk got a nice pick there. George Kittle, again, we talked about the age coming in. That's good. He's targeting these older players for sure. He's definitely going by household names. So Kittle, it's a good pick there. Debo's gone, right? Debo's gone. It frees up some space. Purcell might be healthier, right? He might be healthier. Last year he was a rookie and unfortunately got shot. In an attempted robbery. So that's crazy. But the fact that he came back last year was unbelievable, and he played, and now he's back. So hopefully this will be a good year for him. He deserves it, and we'll see. We'll see how Kittle does, freeing up some space there. I think there'll still be enough for Kittle to eat too. Dr. Swink then picked up Rashee Rice. Rashee Rice was kind of on my list. I was keeping an eye on him. We know if Rashee Rice isn't going to be suspended or have any of these issues or health issues, if he's healthy and cleared to play, he's a beast. So we didn't get to see Rashee Rice really last year, right? Unfortunately, it didn't work out. He had injuries and whatnot. Now he's got some weird legal stuff going on. But if he plays, that's a really good pick. And to get him, he's healthy and able to play, guy's definitely a wide receiver 1, no doubt about it. So to get a wide receiver 1 in 5-7, pick 5-7, that's pretty good. That's pretty good there. I definitely would have strongly considered Rashee Rice if he was available to me at my pick. Then comes Brock Purdy, another one that I would target. Another one I was kind of thinking about was Brock Purdy. I didn't know if he would make it to me or not. I probably had Lawrence higher than Purdy. So if it would have came down to it and I had Purdy and Lawrence available to me, I probably would have took Lawrence. But Brock Purdy was definitely on my list. If Lawrence was gone, he would have been, my next pick for quarterback 2. Then we come over to Kramer, H-Town K-Dogs. He picked up Chase Brown. Another good pick. I would have got Chase Brown as well. That's another one I would have liked to have had. I think he got hurt a little bit last year. He didn't quite live up to his full potential, is what a lot of people who drafted him want him to be. But he's great. When he played, he does well. So that was a good one. And again, he's there with a high flying offense. They're going to constantly be, moving down the field. They're going to constantly be getting into the red zone. Really good pick there. He stays healthy. That's a home run hitter. Right there with Chase Brown. Moving on to Cam Ward. Okay, we got another quarterback, young quarterback, rookie quarterback, number 1 pick in the rookie draft this year for the NFL. Let's see what happens. He's going to Tennessee. Let's see. Regardless, we're going to get some good drama between him and Shador, right? So I think they're friends, but they always got like this fun rivalry. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. With Cam Ward, but he's gonna be for sure leading the show there. Whereas Shadur's obviously got this weird thing going on with the Browns. So what brings us to the best team on the board? I don't know if it's built to be the best. I hope it is, but it's my favorite team. The Skunkadelic All-Stars. So it's my pick now. And again, I said, hey, I was going to really try to target that next quarterback, just get that locked in. I didn't have a lot of running backs that I was really high on that I really thought, would really help me at that point. Looking for that kind of big, high ceiling, low floor. Trevor Lawrence is a great pick. He's got the coach that just did what he did for Baker and that team. You got Brian Thomas. You got Travis Hunter, right? What do you need? What more do you need for him to be successful? I think Lawrence has had a real good opportunity to really break out. He just hasn't done it yet. He started to show some flashes last year. So let's see. Let's see if the hype is real. If he can do it, if this coach can unlock that. And Duval, right? That kind of weird guy. Go look up that on YouTube when you get a chance. That was kind of weird. But hey, if he can come in and do something amazing with Lawrence, I'm in. And listen, I'm a Travis Hunter fan, so I know I don't have him, but I still going to root for him. So unless I'm playing against him, then I won't. But yeah, Trevor Lawrence, good pick for me. I really liked him. That's what I wanted to roll with. I got my 2 quarterbacks now. I got my 2 stud wide receivers, and I got a top 10, potentially, if he's healthy and performs, top 5 running back. I'm feeling pretty confident. So that would move us over to South Beach Explorers' next pick. He picked up Josh Jacobs, running back from Green Bay. A good pick there. Don't have anything negative to say. Sorry, Siri. I don't have anything negative to say about Josh Jacobs. That was a nice pick. Then right below that, next, right after him, he picks James Cook. Another good one. James Cook's good. I mean, he's on Buffalo. He's on my quarterback, my number one overall pick for me, team, right? But Josh Jacobs and Cook, they just don't excite me. They wouldn't have been my pick, so that's fine. Again, Cruz, I love him being right after me. This is pretty nice that he's right after me. One, he's on vacation, so he's like 6 hours time difference or so for me. So when I get to my pick, then I can end the stream knowing that like there's not going to be really anything that's going to pop off and happen. So James Cook, Josh Jacobs, good quarterbacks, or I'm sorry, good running backs. Nice pickups there. Good for me because I wouldn't have picked him anyways. So that's great. So it's good for him and good for me. And then it brings me to my pick. I had to lock in Xavier Worthy. We know that Rashee Rice got picked. Rashee Rice was somebody I was targeting. Xavier Worthy, I feel, has a really good floor. He's not going to be, I don't think, as consistent potentially as Rice, but keep in mind, Rice is coming back. He didn't get a lot of action last year. So it did allow Xavier Worthy and Mahomes to get some chemistry there. So I think that'll help. Also, going into this, I think they got to move back into being a high-flying offense, losing the Super Bowl like they did to the Eagles. I mean, the Eagles pretty much bullied them the Super Bowl. They really didn't show much, and I think it was because they were so conservative last year. They won games, which was unbelievable, but they were like the worst undefeated team like ever in the history of the NFL. So it worked. It conserved them. It got them all the way to the big show, but unfortunately they couldn't close it. I think they're going to take the gloves off and just go. They're just going to go high-powered offense. They got the capabilities. We know Mahomes can do it. It's not that he's lacking skill or mobility or something like that. He can definitely still perform at a high level. He's got Xavier Worthy. If Rashee Rice comes back, they got the. I think there's a new guy. Is it Royals? I think that guy. They got a young another wide receiver. I'm pretty sure that he's with KC. And then they got Pacheco still. Pacheco should be healthy coming back this year. You still got Kelsey. You got Noah Fant. You got people there that can do some damage. So they need to open it up. Quit being so conservative. Quit relying 100% on the defense. So we'll see. So I think Xavier Worthy was a good pick there. He was on the board. I had to grab him. I couldn't leave him there for somebody else to get. That locks in my 3 starting wide receivers now, which is good. I still need to lock in a running back and a couple of flex, but hey, here we go. We're doing pretty good. Then next is going to be Jared Goff. Jared Goff was a quarterback that I would have targeted as well, so it probably would have been, for me personally, it probably would have been Lawrence, Purdy, Goff. I know Goff was like a top 5 quarterback in our league based on our scoring system last year, but he is getting a little bit older. I think Trevor Lawrence, younger, he's got the new coach. He's got 2 stud rookie, or one rookie and one last year was a rookie wide receivers. So I just think he had a higher ceiling for me. So I had to go with Lawrence. But Goff was definitely somebody I would have targeted. If he was available and he was the best player on my board available, I would have definitely went with him instead of Lawrence if Lawrence wasn't available. Kenneth Walker, another good one. I had him last year in a couple leagues. I would have picked him up. I like Kenneth Walker. I don't think, as long as he can stay healthy, I don't think necessarily that Sam Darnold and the stuff that's going on in Seattle would really hurt him. If Sam Darnold pops off and he can move him up and down the field and get him into the red zone, that's great for Kenneth Walker. That's good. If he doesn't do well for any reason, he does kind of falter, I think still it could do well for Kenneth Walker. I think he can be good either way, whether Darnold's good or Darnold's bad. I think he has an opportunity, and for fantasy anyways, to do really well. So that's a good pick there. Howard the Ducks picked up Terry McLaurin. Scary Terry, good. What kind of makes me nervous a little bit about Scary Terry is that there's some issues about him wanting to maybe hold out, or he wants to work on a contract or whatever. So there's something going on there. I hate that. I hate going into the season. I got Ayuk last year in one of my leagues. He was doing the holdout thing. My very first year playing fantasy football, I got an amazing wide receiver. I was just like, everybody was like so hyped, like, oh, you got this wide receiver, he's so good. But then he like held out. It was a big thing. I can't even remember now who it was. But it was just like a big bunch of drama. So ever since then, I've kind of been a little bit leery. So I try to stay away from that. So that part made me nervous. That's why I took Terry McLaurin off my board. I just wasn't interested in that. Again, I look for like the drama. I look for the psychological stuff. That's just the way that I do it. It's a little bit different. Chuba Hubbard, great pickup. I picked him up on waivers in a couple leagues last year. Man, when oh my goodness, what's the name? I can't think of the name of the starter. Let's see, can it show me on the card? Oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm drawing a blank. So Rico Dowdle, I'm not that worried about him. Rico Dowdle actually did decent for Dallas last year, but he was like the only one, so it really wasn't much to go off of there. His numbers looked good, but it wasn't. I don't think it was necessarily because he was that great. I can't remember who's the guy above him. Who's the guy above Chuba Hubbard? Who's the Panthers? I'm drawing a blank now. He's already been drafted, probably. I don't know. But anyways, whatever the other person, whoever he's backing up, I can't believe I'm drawing a blank on it. But whenever that person's out, like this guy cooked, man. I had him on a bunch of my leagues where I really needed help on running backs. So I was like desperate. I picked this guy up because like the hype, and he ended up popping off. So so that if whoever it is, I can't believe I'm drawing a blank. Maybe in chat, somebody post in chat. Um, Mick, what is Flying V to do in 2 years after winning the league back to back? That is so true. Flying V, we're gonna get to him next. Yes, that's so true. So, anyways, if you guys can remember who the main guy is in Carolina, let me know in here. I can't believe I'm drawing a blank. But let's move over to Flying V. Let's move over to his. Yes, back to him. Back to I think the highest age average in the league. He goes and picks up Tyreek Hill. Like, why wouldn't you? You already have Hurts, Barkley, McCaffrey, Henry, and Kittle, like all like super highly targeted people last year in redraft. Why wouldn't you go out and get the number 2 wide receiver in redraft last year in Tyreek Hill? Why wouldn't you? I mean, the cheetah. You got to get him, right? I mean, based on this team structure so far, you had to do that. The only thing you could do better right now than get Tyreek Hill is get Devontae Adams. And guess what? He got Devontae Adams. Spoiler alert, I know we didn't get to that round yet, but yeah, so Tyreek Hill, okay, great. If Tyreek Hill is good, and Tua, really mainly, not even Tyreek. This doesn't really have anything to do with Tyreek. This has to do with Tua. This has to do with Josh McDaniels, Mike McDaniels, right? Mike, whatever. The guy looks like he's smoking weed all the time. That guy, if that guy and Tua can get it together, all good. Tyreek will do what he needs to do. Skill set's there, no doubt about it. As long as he's not getting arrested, he'll be fine. So Tyreek, that could be a great pick. To get him at 6'7", that's nuts. To get Tyreek at 6'7". Now, if you're basing it on his performance last year, yes, I can see why he falls to 6'7", but we still know that Tyreek Hill is an elite level dude. I mean, he had a practice squad quarterback, this Stu Huntley last year. Guys, don't beat up on Tyreek so bad. I mean, the poor guy was so frustrated, he didn't want to even show up to the games. He was trying to get arrested. He didn't even want to go to the games. He had such bad quarterback play there for a while there. So, it is what it is. Great pick, Tyreek. I think he could really ball for him. Let's see what happens. Then we got Loveland, right? Now, Loveland is a tight end coming to the Chicago Bears. Don't really know a lot about Loveland. I didn't follow his college much. I don't really watch the tight end stuff, to be honest with you guys. You can tell, right? I haven't picked the tight end yet. There's only a few off the board already at this point. But yeah, we'll figure that part out when it comes. Not a huge tight end person. This is tight end premium, so I did try to make sure that maybe this will pick my interest a little bit in tight ends. But Loveland, hey, let's see what happens. Rookie there at the Bears. Warren, another rookie. Now this rookie here, I was kind of interested in. I was doing a little bit of research, was following up on. He did go to Indy. Again, what kind of made me nervous was the Daniel Jones, the Anthony Richardson, the kind of weird quarterback play. Who knows? Maybe they get Kirk Cousins. Maybe Kirk Cousins he might be throwing to this guy. So I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. It kind of made some question marks for me. Justin Fields, great. I remember watching him on the Netflix QB1. Liked him. I thought he was a cool personality. Glad to see that he got drafted by the Bears. Unfortunately, they didn't utilize him. I think they did him right by letting him go to the Steelers or facilitating that deal to go to the Steelers. He did get to play. I think due to maybe the draft picks and the investment into Russell Wilson, they pulled Fields. Fields was doing pretty decent. He was winning games. They pulled him and they put Russell Wilson in, which Russell Wilson, I think, realistically did probably better, but he wasn't a long-term play, right? I think they should have probably went all in on Fields, just gave him a chance to really see what they had this last year, that year, and then potentially keep him as their starter and a long-term quarterback. But they didn't, and he ended up going to the Jets. Not sure it's a best landing spot for him. He does get the new coach that comes over from Detroit, not the offensive coach though, which might have been better if the Bears. But now he's got a new coach there. I think somebody that wants to win, that wants to put the right people in place. So we'll see. That could be really good. I'm a Justin Fields fan. I want to see him do well, and I hope he does. Purcell, we talked a little bit about him coming back from the injury. He got shot last year. Unbelievably, he still ended up playing in the season last year. He was a high-touted rookie. I think he was a first-round pick in the rookie draft, which is not a lot of wide receivers go in the first round. So that right there sets the bar for him to probably do pretty well. We'll give him a chance this year, right? Last year it was rough, but that's a good pick. I would have picked him. Wouldn't have picked him here. I wouldn't have picked him in the 6th round. But if he'd have been available later, I would have picked him up. Moving over to Zay. Zay was somebody I was targeting. I would like to have gotten like Worthy Zay. I don't think it would have worked out though, because one, I don't think Worthy would have made it to the 7-11 pick. And I don't know if I would invest again in another wide out there. Maybe if Zay would have been there, it would have been a strong consideration for me to do that. So that kind of drops a hint. So I'm probably not going to pick a wide out here, right? Then he went stack, bam, right back in and got Jameson Williams, who I think Jameson Williams had a lot of potential last year. He just didn't get the consistency. This year they're talking him up big time in the OTAs, the rookie camp, all the stuff as we're heading into getting closer to the preseason. Really hyping him up. They're saying that he's exceeding all expectations. I know he's got the ability to do it. As again, I think for him it's mental. The more he calms down, the more he gets in line with the team. Doesn't do crazy things or say crazy things. It's kind of like a Rashee Rice, right? It's kind of like, man, you got all the talent in the world. Just get your head in the game, stay focused on the important stuff. So it's a good pick. Again, another one I would like to have had. Fortunately, it didn't fall that way. I wouldn't have picked him, probably over Zay anyways. But good pick. Good pick. He's really doing well with his wide receivers. Christopher Green here is. So he's got Lamb, Puka Nacua, Zay Flowers, Jameson Williams. Good. 2 good rookie quarterbacks. If Bo Nix and McCarthy can just pop off like Nix did last year, that's a home run hitter here for sure. Judkins, we just don't know. So I think that's probably his weakest link. And it's not even that he's bad. It's just that we don't know, right? So pretty good. Let's move on then now. Michael Penix got picked up here by Punny Pandas. Good. He needed a quarterback. He had to get somebody in there. I think that's a good one to go with. We didn't get a lot of action with him last year because Kirk Cousins was in there. But what we did see in Penix at the end of the year was good. He did really well. I think he's going to continue to do well. So let's see what happens with Penix. Another good pick. Again, probably somebody I would have targeted for sure. Alvin Kamara, that's who I was kind of hoping was going to fall. I was kind of hoping Alvin Kamara was going to fall to me here. I know it was kind of a long shot because I knew there were some people that needed running back. And Joe Mama did for sure. He went, double tight end. He went with the wide out quarterback. He definitely needed to get a running back here. Alvin Kamara could be a good one. Again, if Alvin Kamara is healthy, the guy is great. What makes me a little bit nervous about Kamara is he is a receiving back as well, right? And we got a lot of question marks with the Saints right now with Carr retiring, right? So what are we going to do? Taysom Hill, I believe, retired. So, you got the other kid from the Netflix show, right? What's Spencer Rattler, right? He's not the one that I like. I like Justin Fields. So you got Rattler there. You got the other guy. I can't remember his name. He does that called the silly picture poses. And then you got the new guy Shuck. We'll see. We'll see what happens there. But Kamara can do it for sure. 1, if he can stay healthy. 2, if he's got some halfway decent quarterback play that can at least get him the ball. The guy's pretty good. So we'll see. That's a good pick. I probably would have picked him, or would have definitely considered picking him if he was available at 7-11. George Pickens, another good pick. He just got traded to Dallas. I think that's an upgrade for him over where he was at. I think him being opposite CeeDee Lamb with Dak back, if Dak's healthy, that's great. That's a really good pickup there. Eddie Ha got Devontae Smith. He got the other half of my receiver, right? I got AJ Brown. He picked up Devontae Smith, kind of like the T Higgins or the Chris Godwin, right? Of the Eagles. So good pick. I think 7.5. That's probably right around there for that pick. Going back to Flying V, of course. How do you put the cherry on top of his draft so far? You get Devontae Adams, right? The oldest one. You get an even older guy and Devontae Adams. But I think this is actually a really good pick. I think Devontae Adams, he did great last year. Actually, if you really look at what he did when he did play, with the Raiders, and then when he did switch over to the Jets with Aaron Rodgers, he can perform well. He's very efficient. He's a good running back, or sorry, a good wide receiver still. He has a Taco Bell built into his home. I mean, who the heck can say that? That's pretty cool. So Devontae Adams, a good pick. I know we teased because of the age, but I think it's going to be a good pick. I think he's going to do really well with the Rams. So let's see what happens. He's going to definitely be an upgrade over Cooper Kupp, and Cooper Kupp did well there. So you got Puka Nacua, you got Devontae Adams, you got Justin Herbert. Sorry, not Justin Herbert. You got Matthew Stafford throwing the ball. So Detroit boy, right? Matthew Stafford. Yeah. Matthew Stafford's so old though; he almost played with Barry Sanders. So that's the only downside. Matthew Stafford, right? DK Metcalf again. I had DK Metcalf in a few of my leagues last year. He did pop off. He was good. Him and Geno Smith did really well up there in Seattle. Some games, Geno Smith was like top 5 in points. Quarterback for many of the season. Again, kind of like a Baker Mayfield. I don't think people were really expecting that. So DK Metcalf going to Pittsburgh. I don't know if that's necessarily an upgrade for him with Aaron Rodgers. Maybe. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, again, I go back into that mental, like where are people at? Like, where's their mindset at? I mean, he's definitely at the end of his career. He probably could have retired before going to the Jets, but he didn't. He wanted to, again, the mental thing, right? The thought process. I don't know if he was doing that because he really wanted to win or because he really wanted to, one up Green Bay. I don't know. I think it would have been cool, though, if Aaron Rodgers would have went to Minnesota, because that would have been kind of cool. The whole Brett Favre follow, exactly Brett Favre, but that is what it is. We'll see. DK Metcalf's good. I don't know how he's going to do with Aaron Rodgers. I just don't know. Cam Scatterboo, right? Is that his name? Cam? I think his name's Cam, right? Cam. Yeah, Cam Scatterboo. So I thought this guy was like the super cocky guy at the thing, saying like he should win the Heisman and all that. He did some really cool stuff. He was a great player. Super slow though, but it works for him. The Giants, I think he's going to do well. I think he'll probably actually, as the season progresses, we'll get a lot of action there with the Giants. So, hey, not a bad pick here. Again, a rookie going in. We know he's not going to be a starter day one, but still not too bad. To pair with Kyron Williams, you got to do what you got to do. How are the Ducks? Good pick. Mike Evans, picked up Mike Evans. Now, Mike Evans was last year wide receiver 1, right? And then Chris Godwin was 2, and then you had McMillan, the rookie, kind of come in when Godwin got hurt. But Evans, I don't know if he'll be the wide receiver 1 now. They're talking a lot about Egbuka. So we'll see. If he can hit like he did last year, that could be good. That's a good spot to get him. So we just have to wait and see. Bryce Young. Bryce Young started really pop off last year as well. He started at the latter end of the season. Again, going into the season, Carolina was pretty shaky, but he started to shine a little bit. And we'll see. We'll see what happens with them. We'll see if they put the right people around them. Give him another year to develop. That could be good because it's his third quarterback, right? So he's got Cam Moore, Jared Goff, and he kind of insulated himself by getting Bryce Young. He doesn't have to start Bryce Young. Mick doesn't. He can obviously start Cam Ward. He can start Goff. They're going to be starters. They're going to do well, respectively, hopefully, if Cam Ward is who we think he is, number 1 overall pick. Even Caleb Williams, as much trash as he got, he still performed well overall. So let's see what happens here. Bryce Young can be plugged in there. Very easy. Good pick. Now that brings us all the way over to me. That brings us all the way back to my pick. Now I get to pick. If Cruz South Beach Explorers light pops on here, I will rapid fire my picks if he's going to rapid fire his picks. I don't know if he's watching this. I don't know if he'll do that. But if his green light pops, I will for sure do that. But now we're down to me. So who are some of the people that I could choose at this spot? We're at 7-11, pick 7-11. I got Josh Allen, right? I got Josh Allen, Nico Collins, A.J. Brown, Jonathan Taylor, Trevor Lawrence, Xavier Worthy. Who do you think? Who do you think that Lord Skunk should choose right now at 7-Eleven? Who do you think? Let me see what you got. Hit me up in the chat. If you're on YouTube, hit me up on there if you can. If you're on Twitch, would love to see it. He is up. He is up. Oh, he's up. He's up. He said he was going to make his quick. Okay, let's see what happens. If his green light comes on, his green light's not on yet. Let's see what happens. Let's see. Let's see if we can get him in. Seth, what do you think? Who do you think I'm going to go with here? Let me see what you guys think. Put it in the chat, guys. Jump in on YouTube. Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat on YouTube. On YouTube. Put it in the chat. Let's see. Let's see what you guys are thinking. Oh, let's see. Let's see. There's some good options here, guys. There's some really, really, really good options here. There's some big money players here, potentially. Big money. I want to see what you guys are thinking. If you're available and you can, jump in on the chat right now. I want to know who you think I'm going to pick. In the meantime, while we wait for you guys to put that in there, I got a little something for you. Something special, as I always do. Let's go into this, and when I come back, I want to see what you guys have to say. But in the meantime, let's get all the comments in there on YouTube. Let me know what you guys think. By the way, also, if you can do me a massive favor, whether you're watching this live or you're watching a replay of this, please like the stream, subscribe to the stream, whatever you're on. Hit up our socials. It really helps us get this thing going. If you enjoy the content, if you're having fun with the commentary, I'm having a blast with you guys. If you're having fun, we want to just continue to build and grow the community and to make this a super cool fantasy sports, fantasy football community. Please like, share, subscribe, ring the bell. Follow the socials. All that stuff is super important. Thank you so much. If you see a video pop up, you see a TikTok pop up, if you see a Facebook post, just like it, love it, share it, just whatever. Just get the algorithm going. That we got stuff going. So go ahead and throw up in the chat there, if you will. I got this for you. Once I come back, I'll make my pick.
Yo, it's your boy Draft Monster on the mic, repping my home dog Lord Skunk. We taking over fantasy football, $5 at a time. I'm the $5 baller, stacking rosters like a scholar. Yahoo the sleeper, every pick makes you holler. SUPERFLEX, no kicker or DST, deep bench like Dynasty. $5 to ride, NFL glory, this is Lord Skunk's Odyssey. Step in my draft room, snake style, drop that beat. 12 teams, one mission, built that elite fleet. I lock QBs, RB cows, breaking every chain. 3 wideouts, tight end locked in, flex game insane. Deep bench, plug and play, waiver wars every Wednesday. Big play bonuses, lighten up your Sunday. Half point PPR, 6-point TD buffet. I craft champions while y'all just play. Got my back, $5 in the pot. Champions, cash floods, runner up, take your shot. Points, champ, pockets, weekly high score on lock. Yahoo Tuesday, stream, sleeper Thursday, non-stop. I'm the $5 baller, stacking rosters like a scholar. Yahoo the sleeper, every pick makes you holler. SUPERFLEX, no kicker or DST, deep bench like Dynasty. $5 to ride, NFL glory, this is Lord Skunk's Odyssey. When I hit the stream, my pick calls like the screen. Running fantasy plays like you never seen. Discord chat buzzing, trade block popping loud. My community's tight, this league's proud and loud. Cash raining fast, payout slick and clean. 30 for the champion, 10 for the dream team, 6 for points boss. Weekly high score green, every matchup's fire. Live that fantasy dream. From the creator to the modem, we connect worldwide. NFL passion, fantasy action, ride or die. Red drafts, rookie or dynasty vet, come on inside. LordSkunk.com, where legends thrive. I'm the $5 baller, stacking rosters like a scholar. Yahoo the sleeper, every pick makes you holler. SUPERFLEX, no kicker or DST, deep bench like Dynasty. $5 to ride, NFL glory, this is Lord Skunk's Odyssey. That's the anthem, now it's your move. Join the $5 leagues at LordSkunk.com and build your dynasty.
There we go. Make sure you head over to LordSkunk.com. Jump in those $5 redraft leagues. We're going to be starting less than a week away. I know that several of you, I think Seth has jumped in there. Flying V's jumped in. Chris Green's jumped in on a couple. You guys got to get in there. We're going to be drafting Tuesday and Thursday. Tuesday is going to be the Yahoo draft. And then Thursday is going to be the sleeper draft. You got to jump in on these $5 leagues. Super fun, super easy barrier of entry to get into. Just have a little bit of fun. Not a big investment, but a way to get a lot of fun and have an opportunity to enjoy some content, enjoy some of the streams and whatnot. I'm so excited about that. So make sure you head over to LordSkunk.com, get those in, get those picks in. Seth said it feels like I have to go running back at this point. You would think that I would have to go running back at this point, but let's take a look. Who is even available that I would want to get at running back? Who would I get? Look at my running backs. Who there do you think that I would go? Like, I would give up some of these amazing players right here and go for them. I mean, really, honestly, you could go Hawk right now. I need a tight end. I could go Hawkinson. There's a lot of people that I could go with here. DJ Moore, right? Forget Roma Dunze. DJ Moore is. I mean, DJ Moore 8 with Justin Fields. Like, so if Caleb Williams pops off, you could definitely say DJ Moore. But I'm going to make my pick right now. I hope you guys are ready. I hope you guys don't hate me, but we're going to go ahead and lock it in right here, boy. He's back. He's back, guys. He's healthy. He's got CeeDee Lamb. He's got Pickens in there. He's got this Jadon Blue. Maybe he's going to do something in there. Let's go, baby. We got Dak. Dak is back. America's team. Let's go, boy. We locking it in right now. Dak Prescott in the 7th round with the 11th pick. The Skunkadelic All-Stars select Dak Prescott, quarterback, America's team, the Cowboys, baby. I might have to pick up his jersey now. I don't know. I don't have a Dak Prescott jersey. I might have to get a Dak jersey. I don't know. Crazy. But I picked Dak, man. He's my third quarterback. If Dak can do what Dak has done in the past and what we feel that Dak can do, which he has the right people to be able to do that. He has Pickens now. He's got CeeDee Lamb. I mean, this could be real dangerous. So there it is, guys. There it is. I locked it in right there. Dak Prescott is now my quarterback, my third quarterback. I am the second team to have 3 quarterbacks. Mick just went back to back. Cam Ward, Jared Goff, Bryce Young. I got to lock in Dak Prescott. One, because there's a couple of teams here that only have 1 quarterback. Like, for example, Punny Panda only has 1 quarterback. Who else? Is that the only one? Oh, Flying V has only got 1 quarterback. Now, Dak would have been right up his alley. He is so mad, Flying V, right now because, look, Dak, 31 years of age, that fit Flying V's team perfectly. I just straight up swiped Dak from him. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for checking out the stream. Hopefully we can check in tomorrow. We will check in tomorrow. I'll make sure I do that. But I really appreciate everybody watching. Again, like, share, subscribe, hit the socials, hit the slam everything you possibly can. And I'm going to leave you with this.
Skunkadelic All-Stars, we're setting the stage. Dynasty draft night, we're turning the page. First round pick 2 in the room went wild. QB1 on the clock, Buffalo's golden child. You've lit up Orchard Park, now you light our league. We're building an empire, no limits, no fatigue. Welcome to the team, Mr. Allen. Number 2 PPR power, big play king. You'll scramble, connect, watch the scoreboard ring. Milestone bonuses, every yard we cheer. With Josh under center, victory's near. Deep benches stocked, dynasty on lock. With you at the helm, we're ready to rock. Welcome to the team, Mr. Allen. Number 2 overall, first QB in our plan, yeah. In the no guts, no glory draft, you're our rising star. Skunkadelic All-Stars, gonna take you far. From the first pick